Hi. So yesterday we ended here on this table where we found out what's the per kg cane price and sugar amount it costs, and further we found out how the cost is added and it becomes the total cost. The tax amount is added and the total tax becomes. So today, now we are going to expand on this table, and we are going to change the amount for per sugarcane per kg price for 100 grams. So here we are going to use 4.75. Now that is the table. First we are going to see how uh, actually the first how did we form this table. So look here. Now this table, uh, the numbers here, these numbers, they were derived uh, with 4.54, and we aim to derive, and that was derived based on this, and here then the main number was 4.75. So what happened here, now to expand this table, either we expand this table or the table there, this one, it would be same, but the base number, that is 4.54, here would be changed, and here the 4.75, the base number would be changed. So what we are going to do, we are just going to expand this table here. We are going to add the more numbers. How? Uh, this is the sugar unit in grams or kgs, and here we have input the sugar 100 kgs, 1000 kgs, this column here, and then the sugar produced column. That sugar produced column is this. This is the cane cost. This sugar produced column means the price of cane uh, that required that is required to produce 100 kgs of sugar. So that can be called a cane cost. So here that this is the column, it's 4754. So this is the column, this one here. Then moving forward, we have this difference column, 0.26260. So this is the column here, difference profit. That means when this cost is added in this cane cost, it makes the total sugar. That means that brings us to the total sugar cost amount, which means this difference amount is the difference of profit and the cost of making the sugar. So when this amount is added in this amount, we get this number, and this table is the extension of this one here, cost, sugar cost plus profit, or total cost, total cost pk. Then moving forward, once all the costs are added, we are going to add the tax amount. So these are the tax amounts, 0.43 and 426.13 is the tax amount which is required at 100 kgs of sugar. So that is this amount, this column here. When this tax amount is added in this cost, we are going to get the total cost plus tax amount, that is the final amount, and this can be called the XML PKR amount, which means the cost at which the mill sells to the middlemen, distributors, and the wholesalers or bulk consumers. So what we are going to do, we are just going to, what I did here, I expanded this column a bit. So with the sugarcane quantities, I also added the cane quantities required, estimates to produce that amount of sugar. So let's say 1000 kgs of cane required 100 kgs of sugar, and that I derived from this point, that 4 kgs of sugar is produced and it costs 190.18 or 182 per 40 kg if is the indicative price. So from 40 kg, how many sugar in kgs are produced? That is 4. So this is the number here. So similarly, I just put here the cane quantities column here, and then I added the this cane cost column. Cane cost column means uh, if you divide the sugar indicative prices with the 40 kg of benchmark price of 40 kg cane that is benchmarked. So what we are going to do, we are going to divide that 182 or 180 rupees with the 40 kg of cane, and you are going to get per kg cost. So this is the per kg cost, and this is the actual cane cost. Um, when you multiply this 4.55 with 1000 kgs, we are going to get 4550 rupees. That is 1000 kgs of cane cost 4550, and that we can find out by finding the per kg price of sugarcane. And once that price of sugarcane is found, we can easily multiply it in and get the answer. So moving forward, the next reference column I've added here was this the cost the sugar mills are attaining to make the sugar, and for the sugarcane. And when we expand that number, see, this was a base number here, 4.55, that was derived from the actual indicative prices. And when we see it from the mill's sugar producing perspective, the number changes to 4.75. Now this intended number should be around 4.55 or 4.54 or 4.51, but the numbers exceeded here. Now how the point to understand here is how this number came here, and how the mills were uh, were getting this number. Instead, the number should be this. Now, what is the difference? This number is telling us that for 1000 kgs of cane, each kg of cane cost 4.7 when calculated in reverse from mill's perspective. Let's say mills purchased at 4.55 per kg of sugar cane, but when the sugar is made, everything is done, sugar recovery rate is known, and when you calculate in reverse, you get that the per kg cane price of 4.75 and not 4.55, and the cane for 1000 kgs cost 4754. And when you try to find out the difference with the actual cane that they purchase, let's say 1000 kgs of cane that they purchase at 4550 rupees, and the actual cane cost when calculated in reverse, the difference amount is 204. Now how this amount first place came, so let's just work out on this. Let's say we have the sugar recovery rate. Once we had the sugar recovery rate, uh, what we could do, we could simply multiply the sugar recovery rate with the kgs of cane. Let's say 40 kgs of cane. We're going to get the sugar quantities amount. Once we got the sugar quantities in amount, we are going to divide the sugar quantity. Let's say 4 kg of sugar in quantity, we are going to divide that with 4. We are going to get per kg sugar quantity. Once we get that 1 kg sugar quantity, we are going to find out how many canes were required to produce that 1 kg sugar quantity. Once we find that 10 kgs of cane were required to produce that 1 kg of sugar quantity, we are going to find out if if 1 kg of cane produces how many grams of sugar. Once we find out 1 kg of cane produces 100 or 1000 100 or 104 grams of sugar, we are going to multiply that 100 grams of sugar, that number, with the per kg uh, sugar producing cane price, that is the amount that is required to produce 1 kg of sugar, the cost of cane required to produce 1 kg of sugar. So we are going to multiply that 100 grams of sugar produced amount with the cost of cane that is required to produce 1 kg of sugar. Let's say in this case was 45.41, that is from the April 2018 report for the one of the mills of the sugar of Sindh sugar mill. So that number eventually we are going to get this 4.75 for per kg cane price with reference to 10.47% sugar recovery rate. So this is the science. And so what does it mean? The cane is purchased at 4.55, but the actual, when we calculate in reverse like this, the actual amount comes to around 4.7. So what does this difference indicate? the cane cost should be at this difference indicate that the quality of cane was higher. The sugar recovery rate was 10.47%. Had it been lower, this amount eventually would have come down. So these numbers, these differences indicate that the value mills generated uh, from producing that sugar. That means though they purchased at 4.55 per kg, they made the sugar 100 grams. They forecasted they're going to make 100 grams of sugar, but ultimately sugar increased by, let's say, 4 grams more. That means that 4 grams more is going to make them more profit when that 4 gram is multiplied in by millions and millions of kgs of numbers for sugar. So that is going to make them profits. And this 4.75 and this difference amount, this is, you can think of as highlighting the value in numbers, that they were able to generate value in these numeric form, which is showing as a result that the quality of sugar was, you can say, higher, and they produced more sugar. So these numbers are referencing to the quality of amount. So same goes for this table here onwards. I hope this is the clear, and we move forward and we see this is the difference of cost, uh, profit, that is this is the cost they are going to get uh, in total for the cane, and then when the cost making and profit is added, um, the visible ones, that is you're going to process the cane and make the sugar. So this process is going to cost this, and once this amount is added in this cane cost, you're going to get sugar cost here, the mills. And when this sugar cost is in tax is added, you're going to get total cost of sugar plus tax. Now these amount are the units. So I mentioned it here so that uh, I get the number here in numerical forms. So let's say this is the per unit base amount that I picked from here 5.02. So basically 5015 is the sugar cost amount here, which is written here. If you can see this one, this is the amount. So just for the calculation purposes, I picked up this base amount of 100 grams and I multiplied it with the 1000 kg of cane, and I got this amount. Similarly, for the total tax as well, I picked the base amount, which I made it to around 100 grams of sugar. Uh, cost uh, cane cost to produce 100 grams of sugar. I found the base amount as, and then I multiplied it directly with the 1000 kgs of cane uh, to get the number here. Now this is for my understanding purposes. This may not necessarily be, let's say, an official, let's say when I try to compile a report and all, that may not be required. So I'll just conclude here and I will begin again tomorrow, and I might just read the notes here and I'll end it, and then tomorrow I'll continue again here expanding on the formulas. So it says expanding short concise table numbers to big numbers, adding variables, and then reference base units that we have done, generating inferences of the inferential numbers. Now these were the 4.7 were the inferential numbers, and I generated inferences on that. Point number 3, why using 4.75 and what the difference means, and how 4.75 is derived, that is by using sugar recovery rate multiplying by quantity of sugar cane, which will give sugar quantity 4 kg, divide that sugar quantity by 4 to get 1 kg of sugar quantity in numbers, and then from 1 kg of sugar quantity find out the quantity of canes required to produce it, and then how many grams of sugar are produced by 1 kg of cane, then multiply the grams number with the price of cane required to produce 1 kg of sugar. The result would be pKr 4.75, that is per kg cane price. And then point number that we have just discussed right now, and now we are going to point number 4. It may determine the value, but goal here is to find close to approximate numbers for per kg cane cost. That would be 4.54 derived from price, 4.45.41 reported in sugar opinion document dated April 2018. That was all for today, and then I'll continue tomorrow, inshallah. Thank you.